To do the individual assignment 3, the data collection, start on the course homepage and launch the Excel keyboard shortcuts. We're just going to be using going to cells like Control-G, copy, Control-C, and paste Control-V. So Alt-Tab to go back to our D2L and go to Assessment Assignments and open up the Data 3 contribution and also open up our spreadsheet for our industry. So I'm just going to go into File Explorer, OneDrive, go into my team folder, and farming and hunting is my industry. And my company is right at the beginning, the BG. And then I'm going to Alt-Tab to get back to the instructions. And so in this data contribution assignment, we're going to use multiple methods to calculate the quarterly revenue into the future. And so we're going to copy a bunch of formulas, the 7 different methods that are already in this spreadsheet at the bottom, week 3 sample formulas. So click that and launch it. And we're going to be copying, it's just going to go back to the instructions, H24 to AW59. So I'm going to go Alt-Tab, and I'm going to go Control-G, that's the go to H24, enter. And I'm going to go Shift and go all the way down to 59. And I'm going to continue to hold Shift and go across to AW and Control-C, and then Tab to my spreadsheet for my company, and I'm going to go Control-G and go to that same place, H24. And then I'm going to paste, and I have pasted all the 7 formats, or 7 different projection methods, which are regression, seasonal regression, Holt linear trend. A guy named Holt figured out a way to make a different, to watch trends. And the same guy, Holt, paired up with a guy named Winters to make an additive seasonal model. And together they made a multiplicative seasonal model that's growing technically exponentially. And then there's also a triple exponential smoothing. This is a Excel formula. And then there's the Aramax-Saramax, that stands for Seasonal Auto-Regressive Integrated Moving Average with Exogenous Variables. We actually don't have exogenous variables. Exogenous variables means variables that are outside of our company, like maybe it is the economy that we're in right now, or inflation, or things like that that are outside our own company. We actually don't have any that we're posting, but we're still going to be using this with an AI tool called Perplexity to figure out what it is, because it's so complex. And then whichever method, we're going to be using 2020 to 2023 data to predict what 2024 data should be, and then compare it with what really happened in 2024. And then the mean absolute percent error, the difference between those two, is going to be showing up here. And we're going to find whatever the best one is. Right now, it looks like it's seasonal, and spoiler alert, it's still going to be after we do what we need to do. We're going to find which one is the best one and use that to predict the future. Now, some of these, the ones that are here, alpha and beta, these ones have variables that are different trends, different level, different trend, another one level, trend, and seasonal, that are given variables, alpha, beta, and gamma. And it can be anywhere from 1 to 0, and we're going to find out what they are exactly to get them as close as possible. And so these MAPEs technically could be better. By the way, after we figure out which one is better, then we're going to predict really into the future where we do not have data. And to do that, the 2024 data should be included, not excluded. They should be included when we figure out what the Holt linear trend is. And so the way to include that is this checkbox. When we check that box, that includes it. Now the MAPE all of a sudden isn't relevant anymore. It's still checking what the predicted versus the what actually happened, the historic. But because we're using the predicted or using the historic one to figure it out, it's not relevant. So don't get all excited. Ooh, I got it down to 5%. No, it's the one without it checked that is relevant. When it's checked, it just means I've decided to use this one, and these are now the real numbers that I'm going to use. So just I'm going to leave them unchecked for now. And that is the basics for step 1.1.